Hey everybody, welcome back to Stratego Freaks. We've got another fun video, at least we think so. The video today isn't about an entire game. What it is about is a moment in a game that can change everything. And this is a strategy, or I should say a technique, that every player should know. And if you're a beginner player, this should definitely be in your repertoire of moves. It can win you the game or give you an advantage, and hopefully you can turn that advantage into the win we're about to see. This game is between my son Nemesis and a very high-ranked player at the time. The guy was 700 plus ELO. And a very hard player to beat. So whenever you get an opportunity to play high-level player and you win, it's pretty cool, especially when you're just kind of starting out. Nemesis has only been playing a short period of time, and to be competing against a 700 ELO, it's pretty cool. So let's take a look at this moment and talk about what happens. Anyway, here we go. So at this moment, we're just going to freeze it here. Nemesis' marshal's here. Clearly the general's here, and we do not know what this is. Let's go. So just progressing. Oh, and all of a sudden, the marshal's here. This is great for Nemesis because clearly, it's nice to have information, especially early, and especially the marshal. This gives Nemesis' general a little bit of freedom, clearly, to come up and attack if he can find some vulnerable pieces and things of that nature. Now, the one drawback here is the flag in the corner, which is always, going to be a problem if you've got a marshal bearing down on the corner that your flag is on, which does present some problems. Let's see how things progress in this game. But let's get back to the moment. Nemesis has found the marshal. The standard move, everybody knows, from this point when you discover someone's marshal, is that you want to activate your general, and get it up into an attacking position. You have the information, so you know where safety is with your gen. But Nemesis has a better plan. Let's go. Let's keep moving. Captain moves up. Now, Nemesis didn't move the gen. He kept it right where it is. Instead, he moved the marshal out from what could be a very likely square for the general. It's hard to say, but at the end of the day, this player, the 700, knows that his marshal's been discovered, and it's most likely that his opponent, Nemesis, is going to bring up the gen to attack. There is some movable pieces here. So, in his mind, this marshal is the general. Let's go. So he's doing a little scouting. And I'm just going to pause it really quick here. Nemesis' scout up here, I love it. Now, there's different opinions on, using a scout. No, finding a bomb early, and especially what could be a tripod, is great. It does apply pressure to the opponent here, knowing that that's a bomb that's been found, and he's going to want to protect that, especially if the flag is here. So it's just good knowing that, and obviously it takes away a bad lottoing spot. So I like that move early by Nemesis here. Let's keep going. All right, so once again, the marshal's coming up the board. And I'm telling you, if you're this player over here, that looks like a gen coming up. It's coming up fast and aggressive. I have not a care in the world. You kind of lose the fact that there's still a marshal out there, right? So This player's like, ooh, I can't have this come up. So let's keep going. Now at this point, this piece slides over. It could be a scouting piece, but if you're thinking about it, this 700 ELO player cannot afford to have a gen come up and slip across. There's some moved pieces over here. It could be vulnerable. Like he could know that, oh, I'm weak, and having a gen come back here could create a whole lot of problems. So that's definitely why he slid that out. He had to protect this side of the board, and that was his mindset. Let's go. So Nemesis moves the 5 back, which I actually think is a brilliant move, because it's as if he's saying, yeah, you could take it and we could exchange, but he'd get a 5, which is crucial. At this point, our player over here cannot afford to lose any pieces. And so it's kind of like an enticement. Like, oh, I'm baiting you to come down and get it so my 2 can come by and have freedom, because he has no idea what's happening over here. Let's go. Okay, now the marshal moves up, and he's like, okay, 2, I'm going to take that risk, and bam. Oh, unfortunately, that's not the gen. That is a marshal. Things look very grim all of a sudden. Now, bottom line is, the flag is still in this corner, and there's still opportunities for our 700 ELO to come down here and do some damage. So let's see what takes place. This piece come down, looks like a minor. So what does he have to do here? All right, it's a 3. It's a kernel. He's just going to come down and insta-hit and lose that. That's brutal. Now this looks like, oh, maybe this is the minor. Now this is kind of where the mistake happens. He comes down and takes with the marsh, and allowing this gen to come over, that pretty much seals it. These 2 files closed off. It's going to be hard, especially with the marshal over here in close proximity. He can come over and help out, so it's going to be tough. So let's keep going here. Now that's a straight lotto, and I don't necessarily blame him for it. I do still feel like it was a little early, but nevertheless, he's like, okay, let me try to get something. Nemesis has great pre-position here, meaning things happen to be in the right place. So the marshal comes over, coming up on this kernel, and what happens? Of course, oh, and look at that. So the spy comes over, protecting this. He goes, I can't necessarily take that, so he goes down and hits a double bomb on a corner flag. That's brutal. Anywho, that's basically textbook technique there. You just saw how to take advantage of finding an early marshal. If you can find an early marshal and you have an opportunity to bring up your marshal quickly, that puts pressure and creates a problem. Remember, you're always trying to make your opponent have to make the hard decision. You don't want to be the one that's always on the defense. You want to be the guy on the offense. Anywho, I hope this little technique, this little strategy we talked about helps you win a few games. Hope to see you on there. Hope to play you on there. And most importantly, I hope to beat you on there. Anywho, have a great night, and see you later, Stratego Freaks.